Hello and welcome to this special edition of The Last Tackle. We're here at the England training camp in Worsley, Greater Manchester. I'm delighted to be joined by the head coach, Shaun Wane. Shaun, obviously, massive disappointment. Try and put the disappointment into words.
Yeah, it's tough, Mark. There's no doubt about it. I thought our effort for 80 minutes was there, no question about that. We wanted to win. I thought we were smart for 70 minutes. And the first 10 minutes of the second half, we did some dumb things which cost us. The first try, there was a lot to look at with that first try, but we didn't get it. And the second try was dead set. That's just on us. There's no question about that. But after the game, I was proud. I thought we had a dig, but they just proved that why they're the world champions, the best team in the world. And they were just ruthless with how they finished.
I mean, I watched your post-match press conference. Obviously, it's raw then, isn't it? Just after the game. You were personally absolutely gutted.
Yeah, I can't remember what I said. My head was in a whirl, and yeah, I was wounded, there's no question. I really wanted to do something. I wanted to see the players excel and show them at the best. And we've not done that. The first game, and we undersold ourselves. We can play a lot better than that, and we showed that in the second test. And that's down to me and the coaches. Whatever we've done, that's going to be analysed over the next few weeks. But the only thing on my brain at the moment and on my mind is performing at our best this weekend, and we have to take it very seriously that it can't be 3-0. And that hurts. I've never said that before in my life. We're looking at 2-1, and it hurts me saying that, but it's the reality. We're playing a team, on the day, have been better than us twice.
Does it show the fine margins in international rugby? Because, I mean, in that first half, you were excellent at times, especially in the first half.
Yeah, we were. We did a lot of good things. But you look at Morgan Knowles' try, and any chance they've got, a few ricochets when we kicked have gone in their hands, and it's not luck. They just present themselves, they put themselves in that position to get that look because they're so fit and agile. And but you look at the try of Morgan, that was inches off being a try, and that changes everything. And we had 3 or 4 clear chances in the first test, what we didn't take. And against a team like Australia, you don't get many. And we bombed 4 or 5 in them first 2 tests. And they are that good. And if you don't punish them, they'll come back to burn you. And that's exactly what's happened.
What will you be saying to the squad this week?
Exactly what I said to you. It cannot be 3-0. What does this week look like? If we're going to win this test on Saturday, what does it look like? What does training look like? What does our behaviours away from training in the hotel, our talking meetings, all them sort of things. I can visualise it, winning the game at Henley and working back, and that's what I want the players to do, and put themselves with good habits on how they approach things, and then that'll give us a chance. But we have the same effort and desire as we did last Saturday, with a more ruthless mentality, and then we'll have a good chance of winning.
So you're absolutely determined to make it 2-1?
100%. 3-0 is embarrassing, and we're a very proud nation. So it just cannot happen, and I know the players feel exactly the same.
I thought the fans were excellent on Saturday.
Yeah.
The atmosphere was brilliant at the Hill Dickinson as well. How big a part can the fans play on Saturday at Headingley?
Well, it's a proper rugby league ground, and we played the Mark in the last 2 test series against Samoa and Tonga. We played a test match there, and the atmosphere, the appetite, what they have in that area for test rugby is immense. The atmosphere has been fantastic. I agree with you. At the Hill Dickinson Stadium, the fireworks, the build-up, the national anthems, everything was great. Everything was there for us to win, but we didn't have enough. And this week, it's a proper rugby league ground, a real rugby league stadium, rugby league people. It's going to be an hostile atmosphere, and it's going to be a real tough, brutal battle.
But a battle you're up for?
100%. 100%. Nothing will leave my mind apart from what do we need to do to win.
Well, thanks so much, Sean. Thanks for joining us
pleasure.
as well. So let's hear from the England skipper. George Williams is with Lewis.
George, thank you for joining us. We'll address the obvious. Obviously disappointing to be going into the third test 2-0 down. We knew this was going to be a really tough series. Has it been perhaps even tougher than you perhaps thought?
No, I think it's been everything we expected. I think it's been, I don't think, especially the first test didn't reflect the game. I think it's been really tight at this level. It's a game of inches. I think you've seen that obviously from the second test. We give it our all and we probably clocked off for a couple of moments and we get stung. So as disappointing as it is, there's a lot to take from it. Obviously we came in with a belief that we'd win the series and we've not done that, so there's a lot of disappointed lads.
Does it almost make it harder to take that Saturday especially, like you say, probably could change 3 or 4 split-second moments in that game and it's a different result?
Yeah, of course. It is disappointing, but I think it's a good lesson for us all involved. We can't switch off for a couple of seconds, never mind. We probably did about 10 minutes there and it cost us the game and the series overall. So, yeah, really disappointed, but yeah, a lot to take from it. We're gutted, but we've got one more game to get some pride back and hopefully get a run on the board.
You must take massive heart from the level of improvement from Test 1 to 2, because certainly that first 40 minutes, it looked like an England team, a very different England team to what we'd seen.
Yeah, I think we showed a good account of ourselves. I think that's why we were so disappointed the first week that we didn't play and we wanted to. Again, the second test was massive improvements, but again, not quite good enough.
On to the third test, an opportunity to do something that still hasn't been done since 2006, which is beat Australia, and that in itself must be a lot of motivation.
Yeah, of course it is. We've obviously still got a lot of belief and pride within the group, like I spoke about before. We need to get a win for our country, and we try that every time we go out there. We've got closer from the second test, so fingers crossed we go a little bit better and manage to get one over the line and make some history.
I suppose you've identified places where you feel like you can hurt Australia based on game 1 or 2. You've got plenty of data now to work off that you didn't have at the beginning of the series.
Yeah, we have, but I think we've got to give credit to them. We did break them down a few times. They managed to scramble to the corner. Our last-ditch tackles a fair bit, bounced the ball. But yeah, the more we can test them, the better. I think they defended us really well. We struggled to break them down, especially in the second half at the back end. Disappointed not to score when they went to 12 men. But yeah, we're looking to improve, definitely in that area.
And headingly, obviously, the Betfred Super League players will know plenty about it, right on top of the pitch. It's going to be packed out. It's an opportunity to create a really kind of uncomfortable environment for Australia, I guess. Yeah,
it is. I think it's a great stadium to play at. It's my favourite away ground in the Super League, so hopefully they can bring the same energy and hostile environment that they normally do when I'm playing for Warrington and club. So yeah, we need the England fans behind us. Obviously they're disappointed just like we are, 2-0 down, but there's still something to play for, and that's some pride and a win.
Just a word on atmosphere, Saturday especially at Hill Dickinson. It felt like a crowd that was right behind you, and even with 2-0 you must be expecting a crowd right behind you again.
Yeah, definitely. It was absolutely brilliant. It was a great venue to play at, great atmosphere. Yeah, it was obviously a sellout, so it was brilliant for us players to be a part of. Disappointing we couldn't get the job done for those fans that have come and supported us, but yeah, please come down again and do the same thing.
And bigger picture, obviously before this series, we hadn't played Australia since 2017. There's a big chunk of this group that had never been tested at this level. How valuable will this experience of the last kind of month be in terms of what's to come with World Cups and other things on the horizon?
Yeah, I think it's massive. Like I said, we've obviously been disappointed, but we've got loads to work on, loads to learn, and you only learn sometimes right in the deep end against the best, and that's what we've experienced over the last couple of weeks. So yeah, we've got another game on the weekend, but that's setting us up good stead for the World Cup, because we might come against these guys in the semi-quarters, hopefully the final next year.
Well, we're all behind you on Saturday, mate. Best of luck.
Thank you.
I'm delighted now to be joined by Harry Smith. Harry, thanks for joining us. Right, we've got to talk about disappointment. How disappointing? 2-0 down.
Yeah, 100%. I felt the second game was a big improvement for ourselves, and just switched off for probably a 10-minute period, and you can't do that against probably the best team in the world, and it comes back and bites you. So that's what happened. But I thought the improvements from week 1 to week 2 were there to see, and like you say, it is disappointing, but you can't dwell for too long. We've just got to try and bounce back and not get that 3-0. We need to make it 2-1.
In that first half especially, at the Hill Dickinson, you really had the Aussies under pressure, and obviously it was 4-4 at half-time.
Yeah, 100%. I thought the game plan that we had in the week really worked well and was showing in the game. You know, we were dominating the the first half quite well, and I feel like we dominated the game for most periods. But like I said, just that 10-minute period or a few lapses in concentration, and it can just cost you at this high level. You just can't do it. And yeah, it's the one that we'll look to learn from again, and hopefully not do that this weekend.
Because in the first half as well, the Aussies, let's be honest, defended really, really well, didn't they? We've got to give some credit to the Aussies as well.
Yeah, 100%. We expected that. We knew it was going to be hard to break them down. We probably had 2 or 3 50-50, 75-25 chances that you need to put away against a team like that. And that, like I said before, at this level, and if you don't, and then they go and do that at the other end, it's hard to come back from, and ultimately that's why you lose the game.
At this level, is it the fine margins?
100%. Yeah, that's what we spoke about after the game. Then when he spoke about the fine margins is what costs you. You can sort of get away with it at Super League or club level, or when you're playing lesser international teams. But when you're playing Australia and the best teams in the world, it obviously it does cost you, as seen in the result.
Is it a learning process as well? Because obviously we have got a World Cup next year. Does it show that England needs to step up if it wants to win the World Cup?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you're always learning. You're always trying to develop as a player as well. Like, you're not just set in stone on doing well week in, week out. You always, even if we won, the bureaus that we want to be getting better at. And yeah, like you say, there's combinations of playing with different people and trying to build them relationships for ultimately, like you say, when it comes to the World Cup, when it's do or die, and it's probably the most important tournament of our careers.
It's a tricky one. Obviously, you've had a little bit of time off after the second game. You've just come out of the gym. How's the mood in the camp?
I think it's good. Seeing a few of the lads, we were sort of in 3 separate groups, so we weren't overriding the public gym. And but the vibe from the lads is one more of a drive and wanting to do better this week again and look to basically win. And like I said before, just not let it be 3-0. I feel like the work that we put in through the year, playing in a tough Super League league and getting yourself in the team, you almost don't really feel like you deserve to lose 3-0. So to try and rectify that and get that 2-1 will be massive for us and the fans as well. Yeah,
I mean, it was a massive improvement in the second game, especially in that first half. So you think you can go a step further again in this third game?
100%, yeah, that'll definitely be the aim. That's what we'll be speaking about in training, in reviews again, about doing it for 80 minutes. Not doing it for 40 minutes, not doing it for 70 minutes, you need to do it for 80 minutes, and that'll definitely be the aim, and hopefully we can get the fans behind us again like there was last week. I thought the event and the fans were amazing, and yeah, it definitely helped me during the game, in them tough periods, and hopefully they can show out in force again at Headingley on Saturday.
You mentioned the fans. The atmosphere at Hill Dickinson on Saturday was fantastic. It was a brilliant event, bar the result. What difference can this packed Headingley crowd make on Saturday?
Just get into them Aussies, innit? Try and get under the skin, try and make it difficult for them to communicate. I don't know, just anything they can to help us, but do it in the right way. You know what I mean? We don't want anything too far like on that abuse side, but yeah, just make it a tough place for them to be. Hopefully it's freezing and they don't like it, and it sort of helps us English lads who are used to that. Now,
there's always external noise around any England side. You've got to put all that behind you, and you've got to make it 2-1 on Saturday, haven't you?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you just got to look within your circle, look within yourself, and see where you need to get better and what you can do to help the team to win. And I'm sure every member of the 24-man squad and all the staff will be doing that and have a point to go and try and win and make it 2-1, like you say.
And a couple more questions. I know you're all gutted to lose the series, but what's it like being in the England camp? Have you enjoyed it?
Oh, unbelievable, yeah. It's the pinnacle for me, to play for your country and play against Australia or any very good international team. I feel like it's why I play the game, to play at this level. When you're a young kid, you want to play for England. You watch all the England games. You get up early when they used to play against Australia, down under, etc. So, yeah, it's unbelievable. I don't take it for granted, and I've really enjoyed it. All the lads are top lads, and they wouldn't be here if they wasn't, and they're all great players as well. So it's been enjoyable. Even like playing last week, I really enjoyed the game. Getting involved in it, playing in good standard, high quality games is good. It was just the result at the end of the day was the only disappointment. But to do that and make my family proud, it's been brilliant.
Has it made you more determined to pull on the England shirt next year in the World Cup?
100%. Yeah, every year I'm determined to get picked by Wane, get get in with the lads and just look to enjoy it, like I said, and train with the best, play with the best. It just makes it even better to play the game.
Well, Harry, thanks so much for joining us, and good luck on Saturday at Headingley. We'll have plenty of build-up to the third and final test on Saturday, and reaction as well. And we'll have a few one-off specials as well on the Sportsman. But we'll be back every week in February when the Betfred Super League returns. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your rugby league.